Alrighty, so the extended patch notes have dropped, and I just wanted to go over the banner a little bit because honestly, I don't think that this one is like a must summon banner by any means. I know that the community's kind of like split. I would say roughly maybe half and half, maybe a little bit more people leaning towards probably not summoning, and that's completely understandable. I don't think that this character is like insanely good. I think that she's pretty good if you can 6/6 her ultimate and stuff like that. It hits obviously really, really hard, but then again, any of the modern like AoE ultimate heroes can pretty much wipe an entire team with a 6/6 ultimate, so that's not really a big surprise. The character itself is pretty interesting. She's pretty much a tank, which makes her sort of useful in different sorts of scenarios. Her passive with her taunt, I think, makes it to where she pretty much takes 40%, or like your teammates take 40% reduced damage, I'm pretty sure. So that's also pretty interesting. When taking damage from the enemy, increases the hero's damage dealt by 10% up to 50%. Combines up to 500,000 damage taken by skills and skill effects, then increases damage dealt by 20% of the accumulated amount, and then decreases allies' damage taken by 40% while the stance is active. So she can definitely like mitigate damage and stuff like that, kind of sort of like Tarmiel whenever you put up a stance, except she's not going to take the blunt of the damage from like AoEs or anything like that. But yeah, she's a pretty interesting character. The biggest problem for me personally is the ultimate scaling is absolute dog water. Like I have to, like, it's not enough that they, you know, had to cut down on the regular stuff like that they normally do, but they also made the quell like extended effect on it absolute trash at the lower levels. So it goes from 5% quell damage, which is, if you don't know, quell is the newer green Sariel sort of was introduced with that, and it is damage dealt plus normally 50% per active stance on self. So I'm pretty sure she puts on 2 stances, maybe 3. I'm not absolutely positive on that one, but yeah, she puts on a couple of stance buffs for herself whenever she assumes the stance, which will in turn mean that you want to, you know, put up a stance before you ult. But they made it to where the quell damage percentage scales as well as the, you know, the regular ult stuff, which I think is just so dumb, because, you know, other regular characters aren't going to have that problem. Like, you know, green Sariel is just going to get, you know, even at 1/6 the quell damage is going to be 50%, which is good. But for Diane, because she's a festival unit and they want people to summon, I guess, and everything, and just sort of invest more into her, it starts at 5%, which is just abysmal, and then scales all the way up to 50%, which is super lame in my opinion. I hate when they do this with festival units, because obviously, I mean, festival units are the characters that you want the most, more often than not. But yeah, they really nerfed the crap out of that, which sucks, but I mean, nothing you can really do about it. So that is really unfortunate. The healing on the ultimate also ends up cutting back quite a bit from 1/6 all the way up to 6/6. I'm not super crazy about the healing. Like, I feel like in a PvP scenario, like if you end up getting the ultimate off, you're either gonna wipe or you're not, kind of deal. So I mean, if you wipe, you don't really need the HP healing off of the ultimate, but I don't know, I haven't really, you know, tested the character yet because it's not actually dropped on global yet, but I don't think that would be as much of an issue, but who knows, I haven't actually been able to test yet. So yeah, her skill is a pulverized skill, which is just like Festival Gother, so the more ult gauge she has, she deals more damage, which is kind of neat. And then yeah, the stance is increases HP related stats and then taunts, and it's 3 turns on level 3, but I'm pretty sure on level 1 and 2 it's a 2-turn taunt, which is actually kind of nice. She's a red unit, of course, but anyway, enough about the character. Just in case you're watching this soon after it comes out, I am going to be doing live summons, so if you want to, feel free to subscribe, or, you know, just come by the stream or whatever. If, you know, you're hanging out whenever the patch drops, I'll be doing some messing around on the new patch. But yeah, so 900 loyalty banner, just like all of the, you know, festival banners seem to be. 300, 600, 900 mileage. You can choose between any of the festival units that are on the banner at the 900 mark, and there's a pretty decent lineup here. It's not awful. I feel like Escanor is in like every single festival banner at this point, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for me specifically, I already have Escanor maxed out, so I would rather not see Escanor in some of these banners. But I know that for a lot of, you know, regular players and stuff like that, if you don't have him maxed out or you just don't have him in general, he's a phenomenal character, so you definitely want to have him. If not, you want to boost him up because his ultimate is insane. So Escanor being on the banner is not bad. Bon is still really, really relevant in PvP, so maxing him out would be super beneficial. That's one of my goals if possible. I'm not going to like overextend or anything like that by any means to try to like max Bon out, but if I can pull a copy of her early, depending if I can pull copies of Bon, I'd really like to try to get him 6/6, just because you get an additional effect at 6/6 on his ult, which is also really dumb. And then King is still super, super good. He's really recent. He came out in what, November or so, maybe December for us. I can't remember exactly when he came out for global, but yeah, he's phenomenal, super great character. If you don't have him, definitely recommend you summon to get him. The big problem I think a lot of people are having is that there's a lot of speculation that there's going to be a slime collab rerun soon. Obviously we don't have super good solid info on when the actual collab will drop or anything, so that is kind of an issue. And then there's also speculation that there's going to be another festival shortly after this one, because they still haven't dropped a light unit yet, and I think that we're supposedly getting close to some other sort of milestone for the game or something. I can't remember exactly why people were speculating that there's going to be another festival dropping soon, but I don't have anything to regard that or anything, so who knows. I mean, that marble drops all kinds of bait stuff and different festivals and everything for various reasons, so it wouldn't blow my mind if they were like, oh, we're just dropping another festival soon. I can't remember what the reasoning is. If you know, let me know, because I would appreciate that. The banner itself isn't bad. Obviously there's a couple of festival coin shop units that really aren't all that great anymore. Like I don't really want any of these coin shop units, to be honest. That's just they're kind of old. Not a whole lot of them are useful. Maybe Green Dairy area would be kind of nice because you can use her for Belmoth raids, but I kind of prefer Zaratros personally, so that doesn't help me at all. But if you need her, go for it. Tarmiel's still really good. Unfortunately, I have mine maxed out, so I'm not looking for that. This new green Sariel is actually pretty interesting as a character because the grace that she has is really solid. You can, put it on, as an association unit, and you'll get the grace for the character. And in general, she's just really good. Like, I think I really like the playstyle of the character, and she seems kind of future-proofed-ish, to where she's going to buff the Archangel characters. So in the future, whenever more Archangels drop, or whenever Mael eventually comes out, I know everybody's so excited for Mael to drop, could potentially be a really good support unit for that. Blue Mono's kind of sort of exclusive-ish, not really. I don't know, she's not on a whole lot of banners. Mark II Valenti's really not all that great in my opinion anymore, so I don't really think anybody should be seeking her out, but she's a cool character, just maybe not all that good anymore. I don't know, maybe if you can put something together and get some use out of her, go for it. But yeah, I'm looking for these two characters specifically right here because I skipped the banner that these two dropped on, so if I could get those for either box CC, or I do kind of want to experiment around a little bit with green mono, that would be kind of nice. And then a couple of extra characters. I think these last three characters are some of the more sought after picks, in my personal opinion, besides green Sariel, because Brunhild is still really good for anything PvE related, as well as using her for the bird, and I think people are starting to use her a little bit more for the deer as well. And then of course Magelda is solid for the bird. Like, if you can get Magelda and get her holy relic, she is god tier, like top tier bird character, so fantastic. Excalibur Arthur, he's been out for a little while. He's pretty much become like the new go-to Arthur that they just shove onto any banner, so you might not be necessarily looking for this character, but still a really solid character to max out to get more CC for your Bond team if you're using Bond or anything like that, so kind of cool. Honestly, not hating on the lineup. I think that it's going to be a pretty solid banner. The character, like I said, is not like an insane OP festival unit that you must summon for, I think. So if you're wanting to skip, or I definitely would recommend, we always end up getting the updates 2 weeks after JP and Korea's, sort of updates do. So in 2 days, we will be able to see what JP and Korea's next banner is going to be. So it'll be the like half festival banner for the banner that we're just now getting, we'll be able to sort of like stop and look and have 2 weeks to sort of assess and figure out whether we want to summon for that banner or not. So I'll definitely try to go over that whenever the patch notes and stuff like that drop, because I'm interested to see who the character will be for the half banner, like the part 2 of the festival banner and everything. So if you want to wait and see who's next, and maybe you want to go for that character instead, you never know. Yeah, definitely I recommend waiting if you can. If you have the patience for it and the gems aren't burning a hole in your pocket, I would recommend waiting a little bit. But there's also going to be a free banner that you can get, or like you just get tickets for over the next month during the festival, and you'll be able to just do free summons on this banner to get various giant characters. And then at 300 mileage you choose between one of the original archangels, and then at 600 you choose between either these 2 Dianes, which are kind of like seasonal exclusive kind of characters, or you can choose Red Matrona, which is more sought after because she's really good for the bird team as well. So it's going to be a pretty solid lineup as far as the banners go, but obviously the DN banner is the one that you're actually going to have to spend gems on. So it's pretty much a toss-up. If you really want the character, I really like Diane units in general. Not that that's like a really good reason to summon for a character, but she's kind of waifu, and I know that some people summon for waifus, so if you're doing it for the waifu, I mean, look at her. She's just the cutest little thing. That was super, like, weird. But yeah, I think the banner's not bad. It's a little baity. It seems like they're baiting a little bit, trying to sort of draw your gems out for maybe something coming soon. So definitely beware. If you can pull her early, definitely dip out of the banner, I think. If you have the extra gems, by all means go for it. If not, I would say maybe just chill out, hold on for a little bit, and sort of wait and see. So that's pretty much all I have to say. That's pretty much it from me. If you have any other input or any sort of info that I maybe missed, or you want to just talk about, feel free to leave a comment down below. Like I said, I will be doing live summons on live stream whenever the banner drops, which is just in a couple of hours as of the time of me posting this. So like I said, feel free to stop by. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.